Okay, about a week ago, we did a really short video bedding the OCD way, where I was like drilling 9 million holes in there to keep that bedding from coming out, which is what I've been doing forever. Here, might want to look at this. This is what it turned out like. And this one isn't absolutely positively flawless as far as cosmetically, which is really hard to do. But the metal work has already been put into here. And I did my standard test. Remember, stand it up, make sure the front one's tight. Then you tighten the rear one and see if there's any movement. By the way, look at the, we also bed our bottom metal. Very few people bed bottom metal. Look at that. Can you see it? This is an escutcheon that goes in there, and that's for the front of the trigger guard. When you get this thing right, this trigger guard literally snaps into place, like it pops in there, and then it's hard to get back out. So that trigger guard is never going to move. And here again, see if you can, I'll hold this up so they can really see that. I mean, bedding is at least as important as metal work. And I almost wonder if maybe it's almost even more important, because you think about it, if the metal work can move, it's not going to shoot to the same hole. If there's something actually wrong in the metal work, at least that would always be consistent. But if it's moving around in the bedding, it's going to shoot different place. Anyway, so I thought you wanted to see that, might want to see that. Now, might notice this. Okay? I've been wearing this now almost every single day for over a year. I mean, I've really been wearing this thing. This is, we're giving a plug for this for sure. See what this is? Husking's Holsters. This is a guy here in Lewiston, Idaho, that builds these. Can you see this, Vicki? Make sure they can see it. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. This thing, I actually have a couple of these, but this one that I've been wearing all the time is for my Hellcat. And it's with the Hellcat with a laser on it. This is, by the way, if you don't have one of these guns and you can afford one, what a nice little gun. And I carry it with the extension in it. I think I normally carry it, 12. And you see it's got a magazine. And that is in there so tight, I don't even want to pull it out because it really keeps it there. But I have rode horses, rode motorcycles, rode four-wheelers, ran, jumped, did everything you can possibly do while wearing this thing. Most of the time you forget you even have it on. Like I said, I wear it almost all the time. And the way he has it, see how easy it is? I mean, it's really nice. And it's not real expensive. I think it was like $100, right, Vicki?
Ish, yeah.
$100, and you can put it on yourself pretty easily. Like that. I mean, not bad. If I was to have him redo it, I would not have these two here. I thought I wanted these here so that you could take it off a different way, but I always use this. So these, you could eliminate a little bit of weight and get rid of these buckles. But anyway, it's pretty darn nice, and it really sticks in there. I mean, you got to pull that out. It's not just coming out. Pretty nice. So here, I'm going to show that one more time. Okay, now, okay, what else? All right, so, Hornady Public Relations Cartridge, PRC. All right, so finally, remember last time we did one of these videos, I was going to do a PRC video and I could not find ammo, I couldn't find brass, I couldn't find anything. So here, look what we got. Can I get this out of here even? I should have had this open. Okay, so here's loaded ammo, and this is with, what is this? These are 180 grain ELD match, right? So here's one. It's the first loaded ammo that I've had. And guess what else I got? Look, here, let me see if I can show you this. This is ADG 7 PRC, made in the USA. That part I really like. Now, obviously, it's brand new and I haven't used it yet. This is what's going on. A customer wants me to build one now, and I definitely have agreed to do it. We're gonna use that ADG brass. We're gonna make dummy rounds out of the bullets that he wants to shoot, and then we're gonna send it off to Dave Manson, and we're gonna have a custom reamer made. I don't know whether it's going to be turn neck or no turn neck. I will say one thing. We took this this loaded ammo, and Vicki and I measured all of it. It is very uniform. I will say that. It is very uniform, and then I got on the internet and I looked up the actual SAMI specs for this cartridge, and it was within like a thou of everything. So the actual Hornady drawings and this Hornady ammo is very uniform. So the only reason I'm saying that is it's possible that I might run it no turn neck, but I'm gonna run it close. I might only run like 1 or 2 thousandths clearance. I haven't decided that yet. The thing I've got to do is I've already measured all the loaded ammo. I've got to seat bullets in this ADG brass and then measure all of that and then, you know, see how they compare. Because it would be nice if it'll just accept factory ammo and yet at the same time be very close on the ADG brass. But again, I'm not to that point yet. That's not even what this video is about. The point is, though, I am going to be making a public relations cartridge. And if you wonder why I say that, and I'm not going into this, okay, if you want one of these, you can have one of these, but I want to show you something. This is a 28 Nosler. Okay, that's a 28 Nosler with a 195. This is a PRC with a 180. All right, to me, it's a no-brainer, okay? I mean, remember, I'm an Elmer Keith guy, so this one, okay? This one. But if you want this, that's up to you. I will say one thing, too, though. The gun we're going to build is not going to have a break on it. So it's not actually a joke. If you're going to build a lighter gun without a break, this might actually be a totally awesome cartridge. It really might, because this, pretty much, a light gun with a 28 Nosler shooting 195s at 3,200 feet a second, it's not so much fun. So yeah, I'm a big cartridge guy, and I think that this is awesome, and this is like, but again, it's when it comes to recoil, I mean, that's a whole different ballgame. Okay, so what I'm doing though, is again, what this video is actually about is the customer is so concerned about twist rate, okay? And he just happens to live in communist California, and there, you know, they want them to shoot copper bullets. I guess you're supposed to. Again, I don't, that's kind of stuff doesn't even compute to my brain. But he's very concerned about twist, and he's like, I want a 1 and 8, a 1 and 8, 1 and 8. And I'm like, no way, 1 and 8 is way too fast. And he's like, no, I want a 1 and 8. And I'm like, no way, that's way too fast. I want you to look at this. The Ultimate in Rifle Accuracy. I've shown this book before. This is a really good book. You can learn a lot of stuff in here. But I want to read one line out of here. You ready? According to Paul J. Hart of Hart Rifle Barrels, the slowest twist which stabilizes the bullet will be the most accurate. Now, I want you guys to know something. And this has been known amongst bench rest shooters for a very, very long time. You always run the slowest twist you can get away with. So like bench rest guys shooting 68 grain bullets, a lot of them are shooting like 1 in 14, 1 in 13 and a half. Almost nobody even goes to 1 in 13. They're running slow twists. This is for extreme accuracy, okay? If you're satisfied with it shooting 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch, and you want to run a full twist faster, it's not going to hurt accuracy, but it's not going to help. I always want to run the slowest twist that I can get away with that will stabilize it, and then just a little bit of a buffer. So I want to show you something, because again, he's so concerned about what twist we're going to use. Okay, I want you to see this. See this? This is out of a 28 Nosler shooting 195 grain burger Elite Hunters, a Bartlein 1 in 8.5. Okay, 1 in 8.5. Look at that. 0.15. Look at this. I can't get these apart. Look at this. Same gun. Obviously, same barrel. Bartlein 1 in 8.5. I mean, just stacking them bullets right on top of each other, and that's 195, and we're gonna get into that in a second. Now, I didn't do this, but I had a customer do it out of a 7 mag, which means they were going slower yet, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's involved in deciding what twist rate, and in a minute we'll get to that. The most important thing is bullet length, but there are other factors to consider. There are a whole bunch of stuff, but velocity is another one of them. That's why I'm mentioning this. So out of a 28 Nosler going 3,100 feet a second, obviously a 1 and 8 and a half was fine. All right, but I had a customer shoot the same 195 grain burgers out of a 7 mag with a 1 and 9. It was a Krieger 1 and 9. And you know what? It did the same thing. It literally stacked them bullets on top of each other. So what do we know from that? We know that a 1 and 9 will stabilize the 195 grain burger out of a 7 mag, and he was running them at about, I don't know, 2850. So that's considerably slower. And the elevation here where he was shooting at about, I don't know, 3,000 feet. Approximately 2,500 to 3,000 feet elevation. I know right where he was doing it. And I mean, that thing was putting them right through the same hole. So what do we know? We know that a 1 and 9 will stabilize those 195s. Okay, so, but this customer, he's like, I want a 1 and 8, 1 and 8, 1 and 8. So here, look, I want to show you something. So here's what we got right here. We got VLD 180 grain, which by the way, if your gun doesn't shoot these, it won't shoot it. It'll never shoot anything. You got the 180 grain hybrid, right? The 184 grain hybrid target, which these, we've had good luck with these too. I've only just shot a few of them. Then these, 190 grain, right? Okay, and then these, the biggest of the big. 195 grain Elite Hunter. Now here's what's interesting. You see what it says on there? 1 and 8. But I just showed you how good it shoots at 1 and 8.5, and I just told you that he was shooting them out of 1 and 9s, and they were going into one hole. Here's the thing, and you may have noticed this. If you have boxes of old bullets, especially burger bullets, where it says right on the box what the twist is, about a year or 2 or 3 or 4 ago, I don't know how long, because I got tons of old bullets, all these boxes used to say 1 twist slower than what they say now. In other words, it's somewhere along the line, they just, for what reason, I'm not exactly sure, all the bullets suddenly said 1 full twist faster for the exact same bullets of what they used to say. Now, why they did that, I don't know, but they did. They went across the board. And I don't think it was good. I don't think it's good for accuracy. But that's still not the point of what we're trying to show you here. Here, watch. So, essentially what we have here is short, longer, 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 longest, right? Now, here's the deal. Here are the copper bullets that he wants to make certain that he can shoot. So I'm going to get 2 of these out of here. So this is a Barnes tip triple shock, I believe. And this other one in my hand, this is cutting edge. These are both 168s. Now, obviously, the solid bullets, because they don't have any lead in them, are longer, right? These are solid copper bullets. So what we're going to do here is, look here, and we don't even have to measure them, just put them side by side. Obviously, the cutting edge bullet is longer, not by a lot, but let's just measure it. Okay, so we'll call it 1.566, all right? And here, just for the heck of it, we'll measure this one also, ready? 1.585, so actually 1.584, 1.566, so actually this one's longer, but here's the deal, that's got a polymer tip on it, so in some ways that doesn't actually count. In all likelihood, this would be the harder bullet to stabilize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cutting edge bullet, all right? And this is how easy it is to figure out, okay, well, what twist do I really need? All right, so I don't want to get these mixed up. So this is 180 grains. So here, we'll do this again. Here, help me remember this. 1.566, right? Here's the 180 grain burger. 1.522. All right, so it's a hair shorter. Okay? Here. All right, this is the hybrid. 1.526. It's actually a hair shorter than the VLD. All right, now the 184. Uh-oh, 1.574. So, interesting. So these two bullets here, look. So that's the 184 burger on the right, and that's the cutting edge 168 on the left, and they're almost exactly the same length. Now here's the deal. We know these will stabilize at a 1 and 9 easily. So I'm going to put this back. Now let's look here. So these are the 190s. Okay, and here all we got to do is hold it up. Okay, let's measure it. Wow, it's very close to that 184. Wasn't it almost that same exact number? 1587? Here, I'm gonna reach in and get another one. Yes. All right, let's just call it 1590. That would be easier, 1590. So the 190s are just a little bit longer than these copper 168s. So we know, and they even, it just says, what does it say on the dang box? 1 and 9, okay? So we know that that'll stabilize out of a 1 and 9. Now let's go to the big ones, right? Okay. So these are the 195s. And look at that bullet. What an awesome bullet. Obviously it's bigger, right? So let's see what it is. 1.620. Let's measure another one. 1.621. Okay, so what's that? What do we got here? We'll call that 1570. So it's 50 thousandths difference approximately. So the burger 195 is 50 thousandths longer than this cutting edge 168. And I just got done telling you a minute ago that we know, at least in one example, that the 195s would stabilize in 1 and 9. And we know because of these targets that it shoots awesome at 1 and 8.5. So the customer is saying, I want 1 and 8, 1 and 8, 1 and 8. And we haven't decided yet. And by the way, it is up to the customer. If he insists on 1 and 8, we'll go with 1 and 8. But I'm telling you, if it was me and if it's my rifle and I was setting this all up, I would go with 1 and 8.5. 1 and 8.5. And these are going to be Bartlein barrels. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Bartlein can give you whatever twist that you want. It doesn't have to be 1 and 8, 8.5, 9. They'll go 1 and 8.1, 1 and 8.15. They can do whatever you want. But I don't like to do that to them. So it's going to be like either 1 and 8, 1 and 8.25, 8.5, 8 3/4, 1 and 9, whatever. And I will say something else too. We did go, because it used to be when we ordered 7mm barrels, they were just always 1 and 9. But partly because we got so much blowback from all of these people thinking, I need to go faster, I need to go faster. We just started ordering 1 and 8.75, right?
Yes.
The whole mess of last barrels, and they shoot awesome. They shoot totally awesome. So that quarter of a twist is not that big a deal. But if a bullet will stabilize, let's say it really will stabilize at 1 and 9, I don't want to go 1 and 8 just to do it, okay? Because I know there's more accuracy at the other end of that. So again, the customer gets to decide. But I'm going to strongly advise that we go 1 and 8.5 or 1.825, somewhere in there. But I think going to 1 and 8 is way too fast. But again, it's up to him. The thing is, we're trying to get, as always, we're trying to get the most accuracy possible. I mean, that's what this is all about. Trying to get extreme accuracy. So, you know, he'll watch this video. That's why we're doing this. I'm going to have him watch this video, and I'm going to be like, okay, after you just saw all this, what twist do you really want? And then I'm hoping he's saying, I want 1 and 8.5, or I want 1 and 8.25. And that just solves the issue. But the other reason I'm doing it is because I got to have this conversation so often. Everybody wants to overspin their bullets. And that doesn't do anything good for accuracy. Because again, I don't have it here in front of me, but you can run the numbers. When you add like a full twist to a specific, let's say it's a 7mm, whatever bullet, 195, you can easily calculate out how many more rotations per minute, per second. You could figure it out if you knew how to do it. You can figure out how much harder, more violently it's spinning that bullet, which does nothing good for accuracy. That's what I could go way deep into this, but it doesn't matter. If you overspin them, that doesn't mean that you're going to lose a whole bunch of accuracy. And in fact, there are a little bit of good things that happen with being slightly rotated faster. But I would rather stay on the slow end, just enough stabilization and then a little buffer to get the kind of accuracy that I want. I know that's a whole long drawn out thing. The deal is we are now going to be building public relations cartridges. And if you want one, call me. I'm gonna have the reamer just like always. I'm gonna have it built tight. It's gonna be right. And I actually, after measuring all that loaded ammo and stuff, I will say, as much as I love that 28 Nosler, it's a very good design case. It really is. The design is quite good. And I think it's going to really shoot, by the way. And I think that whole recoil part of the equation, it's going to have less recoil than a 7 mag. It's going to have way less recoil than a 28 Nosler. So if you want accuracy and you want high BC bullets and you don't want a lot of recoil and you don't need 31 or 3,200 feet a second velocity, it's actually going to be a really nice cartridge. I will say this. I mean, Hornady, you know what I think about the 6.5 Crapmore and all those other cartridges. I mean, they know how to design stuff and how to bring stuff out that really works. But a lot of it's PRC, public relations cartridges. You can't, if Nosler had the advertising that Hornady has, that 28 Nosler and the 30 Nosler, it stands head and shoulders above all the other cartridges. All right, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. We actually have a lot of stuff coming up. People wonder where we've been. Well, we were in Wyoming. It's September. Where else would we be? All right, see you guys later.